you call this to that one, because these stick out less.
You think so?
No, it's too late now.
That's all good.
I don't think it makes that big of a difference.
Welcome to Not Your Typical Book Club.
Bienvenido. Es para another typical
A book club.
book club.
Les Bookclub.
12 rules of life. 12 rules for life. An
For
antidote to chaos. I think we should start by discussing order and chaos.
Sure.
One cannot exist without the other.
Well, no. So I actually read and I watched a YouTube video of Jordan Peterson explaining it. And basically this is how he explains it. You have the yin and the yang, right?
Yeah,
And then you have the white serpent.
yeah,
They connect by the tail and they connect by the head. And then you have the black serpent that connects from the tail and the head as well. And then in the black, there's
it's like a centipede, like a
Yeah.
human centipede.
That's right. And in the black, there's a white dots, and
Yeah.
in the white, there's a black section, right? Think of it this way. You have order in life, so you're the white serpent. You have order in life. Everything is going perfect. Business is going well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you're walking down the street with Marty. You guys are having a good time, fighting with garbage bags. And then suddenly, God forbid, Marty wants to cross the street. He gets hit by a bus.
Jesus.
Right? That's the black dot in your order. So,
Yeah.
right? Like there's always risk of chaos, even when you're in order.
Yeah.
And we're constantly walking along the lines of chaos and order.
Yeah.
One small thing can completely ruin your day.
And it's impossible to prevent chaos from happening. You know how he
Exactly.
talks a lot about Bible stories, and he goes into the story of Adam
Yeah.
and Eve and how there's a serpent. The serpent had legs and this and that. You know that part? And he says, like, why would a serpent be in the Garden of Eden if this is a magical, peaceful place? It's because you can't have order without chaos. And he
Exactly.
says even if you build a wall around you and life is perfect, there's still going to be something
Yeah.
that happens. Like the snake will still find its way inside.
Yeah. And there's
Yeah.
more to the yin and yang, right? Like there's the woman, the female, male.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And there's always some part of a male and a female, some part
Yeah.
of a female and a male, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like the yin yang has a lot of definitions. It's actually
Yeah.
fascinating, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it Japanese?
Taoist
It's
is...
Dao.
It's Chinese.
Is it Chinese?
Well, I don't know if it was called China back then, but
Let's
it's
just call it Asian.
Yeah, it's from Asia.
For sure, it's Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder what it.
Last week I just puked out a blur there of how women are chaos in men's lives. I think I should just try to explain that a little bit better this time around.
I think you should.
And
because it
how
was very offensive.
yeah.
Women are chaotic.
Yeah. Well, for men, I mean, they choose who they mate with. So for us, like they sort of dictate what's going to happen with evolution almost, because they choose their mate. And us, we're there trying to attract them, doing the bird dance, trying to attract the female.
I just think that's changing now. Like
Well,
I feel like
Well, you can't go up to a girl and say, mate with me. She's going to have to tell you, and then, or else that's rape.
yeah, but some guys, if a girl, like to be quite honest with you, if a
Yeah.
girl comes up to me and tells me mate with me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I don't want to.
Well, there was a point in my life where I would have said, wait a minute, mate or practice,
Well, that's the thing, like it's
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually think there's a shift going on, Chris. I think there's like men are not what men used to be before.
Well, no,
And
definitely not. But
And I also think that I'll tell you why, okay? And then you can tell me your idea here. I think because men and women are now both working. The woman does not necessarily need a man to survive anymore. She doesn't need that comfort level from the man in terms of living.
So
she
you're
might need it emotionally.
sounds like you're just proving the point even more, because they don't need men. So they are chaotic in our world as men because they can now have a baby without a man.
Yeah,
you know?
but they can also select a man that is not necessarily financially stable or somebody that can comfort her.
But she's still choosing.
Yes, but I think the man can also like. I feel like because there's equal now, she's not forced to pick the strongest and best man.
So that's even more chaotic because we're gonna end up with fucking
I guess you're right.
R words kids.
I guess you're right.
You know, we just watched Mike Ward stand up. He's talking about the R word. That's why I'm bringing that up. But yeah, it's even more chaotic.
Life is chaotic.
Women, listen up.
Life,
Choose carefully. You know.
yeah. Life is chaotic, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a weird place we live in, man. This world is so weird now.
It's a world, and it's a weird world. Complicated. What's that skit there? Never mind. Let's just get into it.
I'm Tex R says WTF.
All right. I will follow if you ban me. What does that mean?
All right, let me open this up.
I'm not too sure what a ban is.
A what?
Like kick him out? Oh, bans. 100 bans.
100 bans?
Could you ban me, please?
What's a ban?
Well. All right.
Merci.
Un abonné.
I'm Tex. What is this? It's a book club.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Tex.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow along, you can pick up a copy of 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. If you want to follow us on YouTube, we're about 7 books in to this book club.
Yep.
We record every week around the same time. So tune in, read. It's good for you, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And then you'll get more bans.
I don't know what the hell a ban is.
Un abonné. C'est quoi abonné en anglais? Subscription.
Subscription.
Yeah.
So, Marty, you said that you started evaluating your life after reading rule number 3.
So maybe we'll just do like last week. We'll give a summary of what we read, and then we'll dive in deeper.
Okay.
So this week we read chapter number 3 and 4. Chapter number 3 is entitled Make Friends with People That Want the Best for You, and chapter number 4 is called
Chapter 4 is called
Compare Yourself to Who You Were Yesterday.
Yeah, that's the one I
Not
was trying
who
to.
someone is today. So let's dive into chapter number 3. I'll get us started. Choosing friends that want the best for you really made me reflect on how I treat my friends. And I'll just throw out this example. I've been in situations where, Chris had quit smoking, and he had told me, I've quit smoking, and the reaction was like, well, I'm having a smoke. Well, I want Chris to have a smoke. So I would sort of tempt him and say, hey, just have one cigarette with me,
So you can feel better about yourself.
Yeah, but don't feel bad. Why do you think you're an alcoholic? Because of me.
Oh, so I've realized that for that reason, sometimes I would encourage people to do things. So, like you said, I could feel better about myself.
Right.
And on the alcohol thing, sometimes my alcohol will get out of control. Like on a Saturday evening, we'll go out, I'll have fucking 15 beers. And that's called binge drinking.
Right.
But sometimes I'll think about my other friends that they'll drink a 26 of rye every single day.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I'm not that bad. Wow. So like I can totally see how the friends that you choose will make a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Your raging alcoholism makes my binge drinking look like kindergarten.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's funny to sort of look at life through that lens. So I don't know. It's making me reflect a lot on the people I choose to hang out with.
For sure. Yeah. There's a few reasons why people choose to hang out with people that are not necessarily good for them, and he talks about low self-esteem and how it's easier to try to help someone else than to try to help yourself. And we talk about that in was it chapter 2? Treat yourself like
someone you're
take care of yourself like someone you're responsible for.
Yeah.
Low self-esteem and trying to rescue someone just to feel better about yourself. So
I do think it's I think you need to surround yourself with friends that are critical of you. Okay, like you need that. You need somebody to make fun of you. You need somebody to humble you. And I learned a lot from that personally.
Yeah.
And I feel like, if I tell them, you know what, I'm thinking of this business idea, they'll ridicule it. But they're ridiculing it by telling me that, they're essentially pointing out the weaknesses in my argument, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to go back to the drawing board and see how you can perfect it, right? Like they make fun of things like, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You're building a rapport. But if you're gonna go up to somebody on the street and you completely insult them, you're gonna be like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Yeah.
Right. But if you have this friendship and you fought with each other, you've insulted each other, you've criticized each other, I think that builds a stronger, bond.
yeah.
So you can't have yes people in your life all the time. You need somebody that's gonna criticize what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like somebody that's gonna tell you, "Hey, you made a grammar mistake on your ad. Hey, you have something in your teeth." That's a friend.
Yeah. So I can think of one particular family member who always struggled with hanging out with the wrong people. Not that they were not nice people, but just not
Supportive to your goals.
not supportive to his goals. And just very bad.
Yeah.
Overall bad life choices. Nice people, but bad life choices. Until I'm talking about my brother there. So until he let go of those friends, he couldn't step out of that vicious circle of just always falling back on his ass. But, he's 32 now, new friends, new life, completely different guy. It's just I could relate to this chapter just because my brother.
Well, you are who you hang out with.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I was always lucky because my friends were always supportive of my choices, and if I was deviating from the right path, they would fucking give me hell.
It's tough, man. I mean, because people with bad intentions will be disguised as only wanting the best for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I'm thinking of switching careers and starting a real estate. Well, that'll never work. That's something my mom told me when I quit my restaurant to jump into she was trying to protect me.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So you got to be careful with who you share your goals. When you talk about talking business ideas, you got to be wise about who you share that with.
Of course.
I'm sure if you want to talk business, you can go to Jason
right.
and have a good conversation about it.
Yep.
Right? But if you want to talk business with your uncle that's worked at the government his entire life and is 2 years from retirement, he's going to have a different opinion.
Of course.
Right? So you got to be careful with who
you probably went through that when you quit the government.
Oh, 100% I did. Oh, yeah.
They probably thought that you were nuts.
Well, my entire family was against it.
Yeah.
The only person that was not against it was my youngest brother.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was 8. Well, he was starting university at the time. And when and it's ironic because he is the youngest one with the least amount of experience, and he's the one that's like, yeah, go for it, man. Like
different mentality though.
Exactly.
Growing up in a different world. Probably like he's probably praising what you did, what you're doing.
Well, exactly, right. And like my dad would say things like, you have a stable job, but
you have a wife and kid you need to support.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Dad, I'm unhappy. It's like, yeah, but you have a stable job. How stable is it? Like I'm making maybe 60, 70 grand a year.
Yeah.
And it's boring. It's boring. In this industry, you can make that in 3-4 months.
And it's
if you really wanted to,
yeah.
Right? Like there are months where you're gonna make that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not gonna make that every single month. But there are months where you can make a ton. Like you can make that money.
Yes.
Making the money is not the complicated part.
Yes.
It's putting in the work.
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
Right? And stepping out of your comfort zone.
And it's meaningful helping somebody, with their finances like you're doing.
Well, it's just you're constantly stepping out of your comfort zone. You're constantly asking people questions that you shouldn't, and you're building these friendships. You truly want what's best for them.
Yeah.
Right? they want what's best for them because they don't know you. You're just your mortgage broker or real estate agent.
Yeah.
They don't know who you are.
Do you remember what Mondays and Fridays were like?
No.
The government?
No. Well, and the government, yeah. Like, Mondays are depressing.
Yeah.
Fridays, everybody's happy. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, Fridays you love your job. It was like that for me in construction, where Monday would come around and it was like, ugh, I could feel my body aching already from Friday night. And
On a weekly schedule, Monday mornings are unproportionally represented for heart attacks.
yeah, I could see that. But
It's-
now, sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut
go
you off,
ahead.
but I find that what we're doing now, and I'm sure like for any entrepreneur, it's like, yeah, Monday morning comes around and it's like, all right, well, I know Friday is tomorrow anyways. Like it feels like it's tomorrow. Like weeks fly by.
Yeah.
You have a lot of friends, like in my circle of friends, none of them are self-employed. There's maybe one or two that are self-employed. In circle of like original friends.
And are
right?
they happy?
Well,
Doesn't mean that you work at the government that you're
different
unhappy.
Well, exactly, right? It's a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
But the friends that are, but I feel like you're stuck in as soon as you reach a level of comfort, that's when you start being almost depressed. Like you cannot stay comfortable.
Well, that's the idea of chaos inside the order,
Yeah.
right? If everything's in perfect order,
Yeah.
nothing happens.
Is it possible as well that whoever is unhappy at the 9 to 5 is that they just don't have anything to look forward to at night?
Well, here's okay.
If you have a hockey game Tuesday night, or the following day you have a date night, like
Yeah.
When you are
every
working,
day is interesting.
when you're working in that setting, you're controlling who you're working with. Okay, you're
Yeah.
seeing the exact same people every single day, and these people are doing the exact same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, are you growing with these people? No. When you are in business and working for yourself, you are meeting new people every day. You are talking to like-minded people that are doing things differently, and they're throwing you ideas. Like basically, your success depends on their success. Their success depends on your success.
Yeah.
That's how friendships are made.
Yeah.
I send you a deal. We close this deal together. We're both successful.
Yeah.
That builds a bond.
Yeah.
I want what's best for you. You want what's best for me. I think that's the like a friendship doesn't have to be somebody that you grew up with. It's okay to make new friends.
Yeah.
It's okay to base your friendship on several business transactions or several idea sharing.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to grow up with somebody to be good friends with them. And I think that's where people have a hard time. It's like, I don't want to find a new friend. I don't want to have to build this from scratch because there's always going to be that awkward moment, But it's okay, man. Like, let go of the people that are holding you down
Yeah, of course.
and find people that you want to introduce to your friend, not your friends,
Your
but
circle of friends.
your circle of friends or your family, right?
Yeah.
Your Jonto,
Jonto?
like Benjamin Franklin.
That's what I struggled with at the beginning. That's why I'm
Yes.
talking about that, because I struggled with, I don't want to cut these people off of my life because I don't want to start new friends.
There's Gary Vee talks about that a lot. He's like, you gotta cut the cord with a lot of people, and then make friendships with people that are
Yeah,
better
That's
for
easier
you.
said than done, though. It's not like you go up to a friend and say, I can't hang out with you anymore.
No,
This day and age, you can ghost easily.
very easily. Yeah.
But again, like, how do you say, like, sorry, Marty, man, you're shit. I can't hang out with you.
One of our friends had that happen to him.
Who? I mean, like, what's the story?
He got a text from one of his friends, and it said, "Hey, listen, I don't think you and I we're up to no good when we hang out." Anyways, so I've seen that happen.
Yeah, okay. A brother of our friend?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, anyways,
That's tough.
yeah, it's tough, but
Mhm.
listen, man, that's progress.
Yeah, for sure.
That's progress.
That is progress.
Gets you.
Yeah, and
You can't get rid of everybody that disagrees with you.
that's not that. I don't think that would
Unless
be
you're on
wise.
Facebook.
I
Unless you're on-
purposefully still follow people that I have disagreements with.
It's okay. It's healthy.
If I subscribe to a YouTube channel and then this guy starts saying some stuff I don't agree with, I could just unfollow, but I'll be like, no, I need to
You need
to
to.
hear this other
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Let's move on to chapter number 4.
4.
There is one thing I want to say though on this one
chapter.
here.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to read this to you guys. You should choose people who want things to be better, not worse. It's a good thing, not a selfish thing, to choose people who are good for you. It's appropriate and praiseworthy to associate with people whose lives would be improved if they saw your life improve.
Mm-hmm.
Say that one again.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
So I'm saying this, but there's something else that I really want to say too.
Okay.
So you should choose people who want things to be better, not worse. It's a good thing, not a selfish thing, to choose people who are good for you. It's appropriate and praiseworthy to associate with people whose lives would be improved if they saw your life improve. Okay? So then he goes on to say, don't think that it's easier to surround yourself with good, healthy people than with bad, unhealthy people. A good, healthy person is an ideal. It requires strength and daring to stand up near such a person.
Yes.
Have some humility, have some courage, use your judgment and protect yourself from too uncritical compassion and pity. Right? You need to be around people that are critical of you.
Yeah.
That's
For sure.
essentially what he's saying.
For
That's
sure.
what I learned from that. Because you can't, if you guys were come up to you to me, hey, I have a great idea. I want to open a freaking brothel. Like, it's a horrible idea.
That's not good. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you, that's a great idea, Marty.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead, do that.
But sometimes we do that because it's easier.
Yeah. It's easier to have yes people in your life.
It lubricates the wheels of the machine, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a chapter later on in this book that says tell the truth, or at least don't lie. And it sort of touches on that, you know? You got to be upfront with people. Because sometimes people do say stupid shit, and instead of saying anything about it, I'll be like, oh, yeah, cool, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure a lot of people do that with me also.
Yeah. I try my best not to lie, man.
Oh, of course.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's the best.
Did you know that
That's the best policy.
7 out of 10 times
Yeah,
the spouses lie to each other?
of course.
Hey, where are you going? To the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the bathroom.
You're just going for a break.
I'm just going to the computer, man.
Yeah.
I just gotta go text. I'm gonna go on my phone for 5
Yeah,
minutes. I'm not going to the bathroom. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
How big's your house, man?
oh man.
Honey, I'll be right back. 2 hours later. Woo!
Oh, that was nice. That was all right.
Rule number 4: compare
Compare-
yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go.
Go you
The
first.
first thing I wrote is Anthony Bourdain
Mm.
and Dave Chappelle's skit.
Okay.
Well, it just made me think of that because every time I watched Anthony Bourdain's show, whether it was No Reservations or what's the other one?
Parts unknown.
Parts Unknown. Absolutely loved that show. I thought the guy had the best life ever. He fucking killed himself. You know, so we're all dealing with our inner demons. So compare yourself with who you were yesterday instead of other people. I think that's very, very powerful. And he also points out the fact that, you know, you might look at, I was looking at Anthony Bourdain saying that looks like the best job ever. This guy's traveling the world like Dave Chappelle says, and he's eating great food and meeting great people. But that's only one aspect, like one part of his life that you're comparing yourself to. We tend to do that. We compare ourselves with only one thing that we see.
Yeah.
Like I'm jealous of you because you have a nice suit, you know. But maybe you smell,
We haven't
you know.
seen it already, yeah.
So like comparing yourself with who you were yesterday. Is
Yeah.
fucking powerful.
It is powerful.
Yeah.
It's relative too. No.
No,
Yeah.
of course.
Like you can, you're taking the bus. You see somebody with a car. You know, or what was it? Hold on. So it starts off by somebody driving a Camry. You see somebody with a Lamborghini. I wish I had a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And then
The
somebody.
guy has a small dick.
Yeah. What? And then you see somebody. Then you see somebody on a bike, on a bicycle. They see somebody in a car. It's like, oh, I wish I had a car. And then you see somebody in the bus station, looking at somebody on the bike and says, oh, I wish I had a bike. And then you see somebody in the apartment building on top in the wheelchair. Oh, I wish I could walk.
Where's this from?
Whoo.
Where'd you get that from?
I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that from a book we just read?
I don't know, but I remember
I
it.
don't
somewhere.
remember it from.
But
one
it's
of the books.
powerful. And it's something
Yeah.
that I think about all the time.
Oh,
It's so
I
relative.
think it's a video on Facebook, I think.
Like, you know, last year I had my goal set for this year on something, right? But then I surrounded myself with essentially superstars. So whatever the fuck I do, I'm still comparing myself to these superstars.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I'm still not where I want to be yet. Right? Because now like, first you're comparing yourself to the top 20s, and then you compare yourself to the top 10, then you start comparing yourself to the top 5, and then the top 1, right? And then when you're top 1, you want to be number 1,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, it's never gonna stop, but that's the best part.
Yeah.
And
That's the best part about it.
this idea of aiming lower is a new idea that I got from this chapter, because you always see aim high, aim for the aim for the stars, but there's an idea in this chapter that says no, wrong, aim lower.
It's funny how we perceive ourselves, because what you're saying now, I actually thought that you've been saying this for a little while with your little victories.
It's victoire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's me and my girlfriend, we say that all the time.
yeah.
Some days, she doesn't feel like she's on 100%. I'm like, and then I'll write her a little checklist. I'll put 3 things. I'll be like 5 minutes at the gym, take a shower, make coffee.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. 5 minutes. And then
Open the
I'll
door and
say-
get out.
Well, no, she's been going through, her
Yeah,
grief
for
and-
sure, for sure.
So
for
she's
sure.
like, oh, fuck, babe, like, I don't have a feeling, I don't want to get up. I'm like, fuck, here's a small checklist, these 3 things on it, okay? And as you do them, I want you to check them off.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to ask her to sit down and start writing her book, for
Right.
2 hours.
Mm.
But, like, put your gym clothes on, go to the elevator, go to the 2nd floor.
Go to Starbucks.
That'd be a goal.
Spicy.
Sometimes you
pumpkin
need
latte.
to aim lower,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's funny. Like, she'll do that stuff, and then she'll be like, oh, yeah, I feel good. And then she'll start working on,
Yeah.
her business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As human beings, we have these wonderful eyes that are probably amongst the best in all of nature. We have our ears and our taste buds and our sense of touch
Yep.
and smell. And if we look at any single moment, we have a terabyte of information happening at any given moment. We've got the sounds going on. There's Rahel working over there. Felix just came in. This wall's orange. There's a smell of coffee in the air. And you can't focus on everything at once. It's impossible,
Yeah.
right? So this aspect of finding a goal, looking at it, and going towards it is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And when he says, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to somebody else, it makes reference to the lobsters of chapter 1, where, if you try to go for the king lobster, when you're the baby lobster, you'll get fucking discouraged.
Ripped
Yeah.
apart.
That's
Ripped
powerful.
apart. Your
Yeah.
your body will flood with oxy or whatever the stress hormone is, right? You'll be depressed,
Yeah.
and then you'll just give up.
You see that skit right there that you did?
Yeah.
That's something that we should have filmed and put on Instagram.
Well, we can put it.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you should put that. You should put that there and hear what you have to say, because that was very powerful. It's true, man.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little skit. Thanks, Rami, for the idea. Rahel, we'll do that. Let me timestamp this sucker.
Yeah, time snapping for sure. So it's I agree with you 100% on that,
Sure.
Marty. Honestly.
You were talking about baby lobsters. There's a part where he talks about where you do have, at a certain point in your life, where you do have to compare yourself to others, and it's when you're a kid, because standards are necessary. So you need you need to know what to aim for. But then as you get older, that's when you differentiate yourself from others. That's when it's crucial to compare yourself to who you were before, to where you are now.
Yeah.
But kids need to compare themselves. And then teens, they need to fit in. They need to belong in a group of like-minded people. But then, when you're a parent, whatever, you need to compare yourself to who you were.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not worthy of a clip.
Of course it is. Of course course it is, man. It's different perspectives.
Yeah, it is a different perspective, and I think no, you're right though, man. It's just so hard now with social media too. Like you're constantly comparing yourself with like the Dan Bilzerians of the world. It's like, oh, I wish I had this big house, and I wish I had all these girls. But I mean, who knows what this guy's going through, man? Like, yeah, he
Dan
seems
Bilzerian.
happy. Yeah, he seems happy and all that stuff, but there must be something that burns with the fact that none of these people are actually his friends. Like none of these girls are actually his friends.
Yeah, it must be.
There's something lonely about that, right?
Must be
Nobody thinks
difficult.
about that. Everybody sees it. I'm not saying that's what he's feeling. I mean, the guy's probably living the life. He's
Dan?
He's a very successful he's a very successful business person from what I see. You know, he's making some good weed money, right? But all I'm saying is, you just don't know.
Weed money?
He started the weed company.
Oh, I didn't know that. I only remember his poker.
I think it's called Ignite or something like that.
Okay.
If you listen to his podcast with
He's extremely smart, man.
Mr. Rogan, you know, he
I haven't
he was-
listened to that one.
He was in the hospital at 28 years old, at the death's door.
Yeah.
You know, so
He's very man. He's actually very smart.
yeah.
Very, very smart, and he's very down to earth. Like he's somebody. If you see him, you can have a conversation with him.
I saw a picture of him wrestling a bear.
He's not like Antonio Brown.
Who's
Who?
that?
You know Antonio Brown, don't you?
That's a football player.
Yeah, the crazy guy now. Why he's pretty? He's just losing his mind, man.
That's one thing that I'm not into at all.
Football.
Sports.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's why
It's-
you fight garbage bags at a Red Blacks game.
Yeah, I mean, I won't focus on the game, and then we'll start wrestling with the garbage bag instead.
Yeah, I love any type of live entertainment.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I love sports, but to dive deeper than that, I have a hard time. I wish, like I told you this weekend, I wish I could just sit down and get into football. I can't do it unless I'm with someone, let's say like you, who knows their stuff.
We should
and then
watch
I learn.
we should watch some games together, and I might be able to change your perspective on some things that you can watch out for.
But if I watch a game with you and I'm actually watching it, I'll love it, and that's when I realize like I should do this more often. But I end up doing other stuff during my day.
I just,
Well,
I'd love to give it a go, but to me, it seems like it's time consuming to be a sports fan.
It is time consuming to be a sports fan, but it's also fun, and it's a conversation starter with most people. It's a conversation starter because you are like, I'll give you an example. I was at the mall with my family, and this guy from my fantasy league comes, and he's like, "Hey, commish," because I'm the commissioner of the league. You know? He's like, "Hey, commish." So I'm like, "Hey, Rob, how you doing, man?" We started talking, and there was like that. How you doing was the only human conversation we had. The rest was about fantasy football.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Right, like we were just talking about fantasy football. Hey, I picked up this guy. Hey, what are you gonna think with this guy? What do you think it's gonna happen with here? Hey, we should change the point structure.
Yeah, yeah.
And our families are just watching us. You know, my Isaac is like, "Let's go, Dad. I want to eat. Let's go." I'm like, "Hold on a second, son. We're talking
Yeah.
business here, right?"
Yeah, we're
like
talking
it's,
sports.
but that's what sports brings people together.
It does.
And when you watch these players, you freaking adore these players, and you appreciate what they do, man. Okay, I'm talking about all sports here. But then, if you want to bring it back to this rule number 4, when you are playing in minor leagues, you're comparing yourself to minor league players up until you reach the professional level, and then you're comparing yourself to the professional level. And then once you're at the professional level, you're comparing yourself to
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's never going to stop. So I get it. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, but that's the idea. Like, keep improving every day.
Well, to grow,
Small increments.
to
and
grow, but you
every
still
day.
need something to aim at, a target.
It
Like,
must be
Missing the target, that's what sin means. You remember that part in the book where
Yeah.
he says
Yes.
sin means,
that is sinful
yeah.
to miss the target.
Well, maybe I'll have more time on Sundays to watch football games when
You know,
when
they
my,
say
my kid is born.
when you're working out.
He doesn't know.
Well, that's not a great way to announce it.
Wow, I'm gonna be a dad. So,
No.
Yeah, so I'll be able to watch football.
Good for
Yeah.
you, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. How far along is she?
3.
3 months?
Almost, yeah, at the end of the month.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So you don't know if it's a boy or girl yet? You
No,
know
not yet.
nothing. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
That is great. Was it planned?
Yeah, yes and no. When is it ever planned? You know.
That's
No,
amazing.
he's been saying if it happens, and it happens. for a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
months. But when he announced me that on Saturday, that is the first time that somebody announces me that they're gonna have a kid, and I was like, "Fucking right," you know? Just like what you were.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the first. Before I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, happy for you.
Yeah, man. That's a huge.
Does Rahel know?
Everything will change.
Yeah, I told Rahel. Yeah.
Everything in your life is going to change. It's
Yeah.
also a blessing. But,
For the better, I think. Well, I know.
You're about to be a grumpy cat for the first few months there.
I'm looking forward to it.
Listen, man. At the end of the day, you will understand and appreciate
This
your-
book.
You're gonna appreciate your woman a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna appreciate her a lot because it's the things that they go through is unreal.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
Yeah, and you know what's cool though is like you can start teaching your kids a lot of the things. You become a better person with kids
Yeah,
because
I
you
can
want
see that.
because you want your kid to compare themselves to you. Like
Yeah.
I want Isaac to look at me and say I want to be like Dad.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
he tells me I don't want to be like my dad, I would be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my girl, Maya, to say, I want to be like that, or I want somebody like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure.
You
for
know,
sure.
like that you're almost like it's just a complete different world.
Yeah.
Complete different world.
I brought it up because I saw your post of your daughter wearing a Cowboys outfit.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. And
Oh, she loves it, man.
yeah.
You know, she sits on my lap and watches the game with me sometimes. And well, I mean, sometimes it's first year really.
Yeah.
But she would sit for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would yell at the TV. She would yell at the TV. But my son now is like 100% into it. Like
Nice.
he'll just like lose it. Say, come on, catch the ball.
How old is he?
Isaac, we don't want him to catch the ball.
The wrong thing.
Rock team, buddy. He's like, oh, sorry, Dad.
I want to take 2 minutes and talk about this Antonio Brown character.
Yeah.
What's
So
he
what
up
happened?
to?
So basically, Antonio. I'll give you just a brief history of.
Can I pull
Antonio
up a
Brown.
picture of him for fun?
Yes. Antonio Brown was playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is the #1 receiver in the league. This guy is
Antonio.
unbelievably talented.
Still playing.
He is still playing, but then what happened was he got into a little rift with the Steelers, and apparently a lot of players started talking about how he got his first contract in 2012. He started acting obnoxious, extremely cocky, extremely, basically whack.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen the picture before.
Right, so he just changed completely, man. Like this guy, it turned him into a monster. The money turned him into a monster is what they're saying, right? Like he caused a huge rift because they didn't want to let him wear a different helmet. Okay,
That's a cool helmet. What do you mean?
like they didn't want him to wear it.
What is last record? We beat him.
Not right now. Right at the scene. Look at the safety yet. No, I'm kidding. No, other side.
Is this his son?
Stay with him, fat man.
There you go. Good go, boy.
Yeah. So,
He wanted to wear a different helmet?
yeah, something like that. Listen, you don't know the 100% truth, but the guy's a great athlete. Okay. So he finally managed to get out of the Steelers and got onto the Raiders roster. He caused a rift at the Raiders because he didn't want to wear the helmet. He was just being dramatic. And then he got released by the Raiders because he like recorded a conversation he had with the coach. He tweeted some stupidity on Twitter and Instagram asking them to release him.
Oh shit!
And then he got hired by the Patriots. So a lot of people think that he just managed to get traded to the Raiders because there's no way the Steelers would trade him to the Patriots. And then
Because they're in the same
manage,
conference.
yeah, no, well they're all in the same conference, all three teams, but
Same division?
But the Patriots are just a superstar team, right?
So he was doing all this to get to the Patriots.
Some people say that. Anyway, now he's being accused of rape.
Oh, shit.
So all of this is
Out of
involved.
nowhere. Business is not a booming, Mr. Brown.
So he's a receiver, right?
He's a wide receiver, probably the best wide receiver in the league.
Why do you think that oftentimes, and I'm might surprise you because I know a bit about this because I used to follow football. But like Randy Moss was a similar type of character. Terrell Owens was also similar type of character.
Yeah.
And why do you think that receivers are usually the ones that act cuckoo?
They call them prima donnas. You know, they're just
Yeah.
because to be a receiver, you need to be selfish. You need to want the ball. You know,
Yeah.
you can't get like you have receivers, for example, like Larry Fitzgerald. This guy is an absolute. He's just an angel, man. You know, you have receivers like Michael Irvin, which had a similar character, but that guy was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald is a Hall of Famer, so it's a lot.
Jerry Rice was a humble
It's
guy.
just that there's so many like receivers are in the spotlight all the time. Receivers and running backs, you know, they're in the quarterbacks. They're in the spotlight all the time because they're, you know, they're nice.
They're singled out.
Yeah, they're lengthy. They're good looking most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, they can pick up all the women. They've been picking up all the women since high school. You know, they've built this character, man. I don't know.
In hockey,
A lot of money involved too.
the goaltenders are usually the ones that are a bit different.
The prima donnas.
Kooky.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
they're singled out every game.
Yeah. They're alone back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get lonely, and then once, so it's funny how different positions in sports will have different types of characters.
Well, the kicker on a football team is normally the person with no friends. Like everybody's probably like practicing and doing, and the kicker's probably in the corner reading a book.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
the kickers are normally the ones singled out.
Who wakes up one morning and decides, I want to be a kicker
Hey,
for
man.
a football team?
You probably play football, and you have the cool position where you're a wide receiver or quarterback, but then you kick the ball in practice, and then the coach's like, "Holy fuck, yeah, you're the kicker," and then you just pick that lane and you go for it.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine.
You remember when we had to kick a ball and they were trying to find out who could kick the furthest?
Yeah, it was a stocky guy.
and we fucking
he was
lost
a-
because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a defensive end
So then he was singled out as the kicker.
as the kicker.
hmm
Then he was
Here's the kicker, though.
go.
We lost because he kicked 5 yards away from the
Yeah,
goal line.
we could also say we lost because you dropped that ball there in the tight end position.
I didn't drop it because I never got to it.
You played tight end, Chris? Hey, man, Marty?
Growing up, yeah. But my last year of midget, I was a wide receiver.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gotta get going.
Say
It's
about-
9:55. I have a meeting at 10.
Cool. Well,
Next
let's
two
wrap
chapters.
up. Next two chapters, chapter 5 and 6.
Yeah.
We'll introduce them next time.
Cool.
Introduce you.
The two other chapters.
Oh, okay. So there's
Thanks
more
for talking
secrets
about
coming out.
chaos and order and saving my ass from last time.
It's
That's
a good
good.
concept.
That was good.
Ta-ta.
Salut la visite.
Any new comments there before we leave?
I'll take a look.
I'll take a look.
I'll take a look. Goldie says WTH. Is that what the hell?
Where?
Here. WTH. I don't know. I don't know what they mean. If you want to chat with us, you can write. I'll stick around for a minute. But if you've read the book and you have thoughts, maybe comment below. We will be...
Oh, we should have answered to I'm Texer. How does it feel to be drunk? My religion doesn't allow me to drink.
Oh,
Hello. Stopped working. College for engineering. Congrats, buddy. That's cool.
shit. Yeah. So I am TEXR is a new sub. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm going to get better with this. I'm just not...
It's hard to have this conversation and answer. Like,
Yeah, I think that's why I like the idea of having somebody that's going to be producing
yeah.
our...
still live right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Have a good meeting.
Thanks, guys.
Doing a mortgage today?
Sorry?
You doing a mortgage?
That's what I do.
Every
Per
goddamn
day.
day.
Stop it.
Every day's mortgage day.
Cool.
Ciao.
We're out. Salut.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations again, Chris, man. I'm
Yeah.
happy for you. This is awesome. It's really good news.
Thanks for coming in. I'll see you next week. Do you guys want to move this to 9 a.m.?
I
Yeah.
that.
Let's do 9 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've been getting up at 6 every morning now if I'm not going to the gym. Plus de temps.
I told my sister that you're having a baby. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, she said she 1,000% recommends that place.
Yeah. Eh?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. How'd your mom take it?
Yo,
Over
we went to a restaurant.
Don't tell me you told her there.
No, I didn't want it. I didn't want